Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the
Hi,
Girls Who Get It podcast. I'm Julia,
I'm Sam.
and I'm in a new setting. This is my bedroom, so welcome, guys.
Oh, I like that color on the wall. I was wondering where you were.
Yes, this is my bedroom. It's like a dark pink, but you can't really tell because the light's like coming in. Yeah, I'm up here today, um, because my baby daddy's downstairs doing some renovations.
So crazy. So that's the big announcement. If you are not following us on Instagram, Julia announced today.
Ooh, yep, we shared our news today. Um,
We're about to have a little baby boy who gets it.
a baby boy who gets it, which I can't believe.
It's funny, I saw the comment you were talking about. Someone was like, Julia's just been like really like low energy. Her energy just seems off the last two episodes.
Yeah, well, I hope that explains it because as good as I feel, like once like I get home from work, like 6, 7 rolls around, I'm pretty done. So sometimes that's when we record, and that's why I like could get in bed and fall asleep at that moment. Um, but I feel pretty good, like surprisingly. If we want to go all the way back to the beginning, um, I didn't feel any type of way except for that I was waiting for my period and I didn't get it. So it's like the
Yeah,
girl talk.
we actually, Julia FaceTimed me. We were gonna like record an episode and we were texting back and forth trying to figure out like what would be a good time. And then all of a sudden I get a FaceTime and she's just like, something, something like crazy just happened. And I'm like, what? My heart is racing. And I'm like, what is going on? And she just flips the camera around and I just see a positive pregnancy test. And I'm like,
Like something came up and I can't record tonight. So it's like I feel like I've been a little inconsistent and not all the way there, but that's why.
exactly. Like it's totally understandable. It's funny because my
Yeah.
friend Taylor, I had spilled the beans to her and she was like, well, she better announce soon because I feel like and I even like obviously I knew, but I'm like, I feel like it's gonna start to become people are gonna start to kind of catch on.
Really?
I feel, yeah, I think so.
I mean, I'm sure, yeah. It's it's actually really difficult not to bring it up because, people are like, "Oh, you shouldn't share till your second trimester," and that's kind of like the safe zone, quote unquote, which I don't know how I feel about that all the way, but um yeah, you don't want to share too soon because things can happen, and I'm fully aware of that, but when it's what's going on in your life, like it's such a huge thing, and then you're not supposed to share, it's very hard to
And I'm sure it's hard not to
not.
also because when it's like it's an explanation for a lot of other things,
Oh
it's
gosh,
hard.
yeah.
But I feel like I can hear it even in your voice. Like I feel like
I'm out of
I
breath.
don't know. A little bit. A little
That's
bit.
yeah, I know. I feel like I get out of breath just like talking. I'll be like, "Whoo." And
Yeah.
then like definitely feel out of breath. I had an appointment today actually. So he is the size of a lemon today, starting
Oh,
today. And so I have like the tracking app, like what to expect when you're expecting. So it kind of tells you what's going on in there. And this was last week, so he was at the size of a lime last week, and it said that my uterus is taking up like a grapefruit sized ball portion of my abdomen, and so
mm-hmm.
he's in there and stuff's moving around for sure. So
That's crazy. Have you felt anything or is it too soon for that?
it's too soon, but when today at the appointment, they do this scan at 12 weeks to measure the neck, like the skin, I guess, or the thickness of the neck to see about like genetic disorders like Down syndrome and stuff. So
Mhm.
you had to get him from the side, and he was kind of facing straight on for the ultrasound. So she was like jamming the thing. She was like, come on, like move. So she's like bouncing it off my stomach, and he's in there like you could see him like moving and trying to like kick off and stuff. It was
That's
funny.
crazy. So
So
you're
it's really
officially 12
weird.
weeks now?
I'm 13 today.
Oh my
So yeah.
god. That's
And I always thought,
crazy.
yeah, I thought 12 weeks was the second trimester. I've seen, oh no, it's 13, and then I've seen it's 14. So I was just like, okay.
Mm,
13 might be the end of it. So I don't know. But he's all healthy in
well,
there. We got
that's
to see him
good.
today. And it
Oh,
still feels really weird. Like my jeans aren't fitting, but I'm still like, there's nothing in there. Like
you don't
it's
have
all
a bump
healthy.
yet?
Feels more like bloat. I'm not so sure about a bump, but maybe a little bit. It's also kind of hard, like when you're not like a petite girl. Like I already had a little belly, so it's a interesting experience. Um, but they also don't tell you. Like I'm kind of stuffed up. Like,
Mm,
but that happens. I didn't
right.
know that. So you're stuffed up, you're out of breath, you're bloated, constipated, sick, headaches. My one foot's swollen. The doctor today said like, "Oh yeah, normally like the right side of a pregnant woman, you'll get like swollen on the right side." I was like, "Great, then I'm right on track."
Interesting.
All this stuff that you're like, "Wait, what?" I feel really lucky though because um like I don't have it bad at all. I went through some like morning sickness, like some nausea, but I never threw up, and it tends to come and go pretty fast. If I don't eat, I feel really, really bad. Like I could
Yeah.
throw up.
Well,
But
that's good. That's good that you haven't thrown up.
I know, thank God, I was like, kind of thought that that was the norm. And everyone's so different, so
Yeah.
it really just depends.
Oh my god, so you're due in September.
Mm-hmm.
Like, early September or late September?
They told me September 16th. So
Okay.
depending on how he's measuring, could
So
be
he could be
it's
a Virgo or a Libra.
well, he's
He's
got to
kind
come at
of
least a week early. I've already done the math on that. He's
mm,
pretty solidly in Virgo, but he could come a week early, making him a Libra.
no, it would be the opposite.
What?
It's the opposite. Earlier
Oh, he
would
has
be
to be a week
Virgo.
late.
If he
You're
was
right,
a
he has to
week
be a week
late,
late.
yeah, he'd
Oh,
be
that's even
Libra.
harder. He's got to be a week late. My brain. That's the other thing. My brain just like stops
I was gonna say that's the other thing that
working.
I felt like was a tell. I feel like you have had pregnancy brain, but I think I've tried to edit the episode so you can't really
Okay,
tell.
good.
But
No, I definitely do. It's pretty bad sometimes. And it's funny because all that stuff you think like, oh, that's for later on in pregnancy, like when you're really pregnant. No.
yeah, it's crazy. Like very early on,
Yeah,
I feel like you already were like showing some symptoms.
I know.
That's
And
good.
I know we've talked about like me and my problems and like PCOS so much in the past. I feel like I was so taken aback by like, because when I took the test, I was like, nah, like whatever, I've skipped periods before because PCOS. So I really was not expecting it at all. He's very much a surprise. But it's pretty exciting. We're pretty excited. Uh Now we're kind of like getting into the preparations and talking baby shower, nursery, and all the fun stuff. So I'm sure everyone's like, what the hell?
I know, right? It's like here she went from being like, "I'm giving up on dating. It's just not working out for me," to getting, like, the perfect man for you, to now having a baby.
Yeah. It
All
happens. It
all
can
within
happen
a
really
few months.
fast. It can happen really fast, and, he is really good. He, like, foot rubs and gets me anything I need, which is great.
That's nice.
He's
But it's like it's
the best.
very encouraging because it goes to show, like, for anyone that is also just, like, at that point where you just feel like giving up on dating and you're just, like, you feel like you're gonna be alone forever and you're like, "Oh my god, I'm never gonna," you know,
Yeah.
have, like, find that partner and start a family and all the things I was envisioning for myself. Like, you never know. You literally don't know a month from now even, like, what your life could look like.
No. It can really change so fast, and I would have never thought I'd be in this position, but I'm, like, so glad, and I feel like I couldn't have a better partner for it. Like, for real. When I think about, like, you know, things are unplanned and who I have with me now, I'm like, "Oh my god, thank God
Yeah,
that,"
thank God it was
like,
him and not someone else.
I know, I just feel like it was meant to be, like, seriously. In a
Oh.
weird way, I'm, like, freaking lucked out.
I feel
So,
like we're gonna have to do a Q&A soon.
probably,
Well,
yeah.
mostly just you, but
You
because
can be there.
I can imagine there's gonna be so many questions probably.
Yeah. Yeah, understandably so.
But I think that it's a good story to share because I feel like that can be so encouraging, and it's just nice to hear other people's stories,
Yeah, definitely.
especially
I
when it's,
mean,
like,
we
a little, not super, like, I don't know, conventional,
conventional.
traditional.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, it's nice to be like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, like how things can work out in ways that
Right.
you don't necessarily think. Yeah. No, we could
And I'm
definitely
sure it
do
can be
that.
relatable for some people too, so
Yeah. But enough about me. How's your move?
oh, it's good, yeah, I am filming in my bedroom now too, if you're watching the video version. I'm also dog sitting, so I
Oh,
have
hi.
Xena here behind me.
She's so good.
She she's also a girl who gets it, but it's going really good. It's done. I last week turned in my keys to the old place, but yeah, it feels good to, like, have my bed finally. I was sleeping on an air mattress for weeks.
Horrible. The process of moving, it's like nice to have extra time to kind of slowly get stuff over and not hurry, but oh my god, it sucks to like be in the middle.
Yeah, definitely, but I don't know. I'm just glad to be done with it. I'm loving the new place. I love the way it's decorated, and it just feels very cozy. And my brother is actually here visiting this week, so I've had my first guest.
Oh, nice in the guest room.
Yes. And
That
I have
must be
another
so nice.
friend. Yes, I have another friend coming next this coming weekend. So it's so nice to, like, have so much
Yeah.
space and have the second bathroom. So
Oh gosh,
yeah,
yeah.
it's been really good. So the main topic we have today, we wanted to discuss the Alfredo Lewis drama. Uh, Shout out to our subscriber Meg. She's the one who actually DM'd me and was like filling me in on this because I guess it was like going off on TikTok. Basically, if you don't know, Alfredo Lewis is a hairdresser and he's one of those people that like he has like a shit ton of followers. He has like over 1 million followers on TikTok. And he does like these big hair transformations. I guess his main thing is like he fixes people's hair. He does these big like correction transformations along with his partner, colleague, whatever, Philip Wolf. Alfredo does the color, Philip does the cuts, and like they'll do extensions sometimes too. And this girl, Taylor, who I recognized her because I've seen her on social media. She looks a lot like Kylie Jenner, and I think that's kind of how she like took off. I don't really know what she does. I don't follow her, so I don't know what her thing on social media is, if she has a thing.
Yeah, I don't know either. But
I
she
think
looks like it has to be the Kylie Jenner thing because she looks
she
like
yeah,
her twin.
she looks a lot like Kylie. So supposedly she she used to have long dark hair like Kylie Jenner. She bleached her hair herself at home. And she did like a whole bunch of shit. I think she said that
Yeah.
she bleached it like 2 or 3 times, did multiple color
Color.
removers, tried toning it. If you're doing all this stuff at home and you don't know what you're doing and you're not using the best products, I think I saw somewhere that she is in cosmetology school or something.
Hmm, I don't know.
So I don't know what she was using. To be honest, I didn't go through and watch like all of her TikToks because there's a lot. There's like TikToks of her doing her hair, and then I guess she was showing how fried and damaged her hair was, and she was upset about it.
Yeah,
And then people were tagging Alfredo Lewis in it, saying like, "Oh, you should go to him. He should fix your hair."
right.
So they flew her out K18, which if you don't know is kind of like Olaplex,
Right.
similar like hair reconstructor. Um, I guess Alfredo Lewis works for them as like a brand ambassador. They flew this girl out to because she lives in Minnesota. I think Alfredo Lewis is in California.
That sounds right.
They flew her out, paid for her to stay in a nice fancy hotel.
Car services, like the
Yes,
whole
everything.
deal.
She didn't have to spend a dime. And he said that he was going to fix her hair. I guess they had a lot of back and forth talking about what they were going to do. She sent him some inspiration pictures. She wanted to do kind of like a light brown, warm balayage. And she said that she wanted hair extensions because her hair, after frying it off, was like pretty short. And then they recorded the whole thing for his TikTok. I guess in the video, she said that she loved it, was happy with it. But then she went home and she was still saying, like, people were saying, oh my God, your hair looks like shit. He did a terrible job.
Yeah.
She was trying to defend it and say, oh no, I like it. I'm happy, whatever. Then fast forward, I don't know, like a few days later, she changed her mind. Then she was saying, actually, I hate it. It looks terrible. It's splotchy. It's stripy. He didn't give me what I wanted. He was rude the whole time, didn't even talk to me the whole time I was there, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. And then Alfredo responded, and there was just a lot of back and forth, basically. And people on TikTok are, siding either with Taylor or with Alfredo. So, what do you think?
So I caught her video actually. She came up on my For You page and I saw her. I can't remember if it was like her first or second reaction, but she was saying like, the color's like good, like it's okay. So not her, it must have been her first reaction. And then I watched the recap. It's my understanding from watching those things, she went out there thinking she was getting extensions. She sent him these pictures they were all long hair. She mentioned extensions. He, in part of his video, holds up extensions and is like, we're gonna use these and they're long. And he's showing her how we're gonna layer these colors. Both are long. Like, I don't know the full extent of the consultation. Seems like there's misunderstandings on both parts from the recap. But she gets them put in her head and he cuts them off. Like, she gets extensions and he cuts them off.
And they were very long. It was like some tape in. So, I think they
Yeah.
just used a few because I rewatched the video, and I think what they did is they just used a few pieces of tapes and just kind of put them in the front. and
to
then
fill in.
cut it, yeah, to the same length as her hair to fill it in. But he was saying in the video, "Oh, we decided that we actually love the short hair, so we're gonna keep it like a lob."
Right. But if
But
she
she
goes out
claimed
there,
she wanted it long.
yeah, so I'm just wondering, like, was that made clear? Because I'm thinking of myself in this situation. I'm flown out somewhere. I'm having these people do my hair for free. It's this whole production. Like, I would probably have, just me being me, would have a hard time being like, oh, like, can I have extensions? Like, I would feel like I'm not allowed to ask for that. I'm already getting so much. Like, if he does them, I guess cool. If not, I like it's free. It's like being done for free. So
Well, there
that
were
would be my
screenshots of their texting, and I guess they talked about it, and he said that they were gonna do extensions, and she was like, "Oh my god, I'm so excited because I've wanted them, but I just haven't been able to afford them." And then she claimed afterwards that, oh, she thinks that he didn't do the extensions because the extension brand wasn't gonna sponsor him.
yeah, I saw that.
So that she said when she got there, he said something about, oh yeah, they I couldn't get them to sponsor this, so she thinks that he at the last minute decided to not do the extensions because the company wouldn't, I guess, like provide the hair, which I
Hey,
think is fair because hair is very
it's
expensive
expensive.
and he's
Yeah.
doing this service for free. Granted, I'm sure he is making money either through, views on
Yeah.
his
I
social
mean,
media. Like
K18,
he's benefiting
yeah.
in some way. I mean, he has to. Like how else
Why would you do it?
does
I mean,
right,
out of the
exactly. Like
kindness of your heart, like,
no,
okay.
exactly. Exactly. And like they clearly knew that the video was going to do well because she's a well-known person on social media. She has a lot of followers. She does resemble Kylie Jenner a lot. They really used that like in
Yeah.
the video, mentioned it a couple times, used the hashtag tag Kylie Jenner lookalike.
Oh gosh. Yeah. So they're definitely using her for that, but I don't know, like, that's definitely understandable if he couldn't get the hair, you know, covered. Cause I remember I didn't even get many extensions. I might have had 3 rows, 2 or 3 rows, and it was, like, 600 plus just for the hair itself, and that's
Hmm.
at the low end, I feel. So, that's understandable. Maybe that could have been more like, don't say you're gonna do it. Say, "Oh, maybe we can."
Right.
And, we'll just have to see. But if she flies there anticipating a certain look, anticipating getting extensions, then I could see it being disappointed. I feel like even herself says she didn't speak up enough. I think from the recap, she was like, oh, I could have said more or whatever.
Which is
My,
understandable though, because if you're sitting there and they have all these cameras and they're filming for TikTok,
yeah,
it is a little bit, it's uncomfortable enough when it's literally just the one stylist and the one client.
right.
But now
I would
you have all
feel,
these other people in the room with you and it's being recorded. I don't
I
think
would
I would have
feel
spoke up either.
uncomfortable. No,
Yeah.
like I said, I would have been like, "Oh yeah, no, whatever you guys want to do, like please do whatever." My only like kind of issue with the whole thing was like, so she seems so grateful, comes home, takes pictures, posts pictures, sends him messages being like, thank you. Can I get your cash apps? Because I want a tip. I wasn't able to tip." Like, okay. And then I guess people in her comments were saying that it didn't look good. Or like that's not what I was expecting. So then she was probably like, "Oh, hmm." And then she posts like, "Oh no, like I didn't get the extensions, but that's kind of my fault, but I still love it, like the color, like it's so good, whatever." Then it continues and then she just like hates it. Like, she's like, "Look, it's so splotchy, like, you're so right, like, you guys are right. The color sucks." Like, now everything sucks. The color, the cut, she's got these short little layers she doesn't like, even though she fried her hair. Because 'cause I've been
Yeah.
there. I remember in beauty school when I thought I could balayage my own hair after one trip to Cosmoprof. I had a nest on the back of my head from using color remover and not knowing what I was doing. I had to cut that shit off. Your hair, you can only do so much. So,
Oh, yeah,
like,
I've had a chemical cut a few times. So,
it's
yeah.
it's brutal, but, like, if she would've kept it kind of like, "Oh, I wanted longer extensions, but this is still nice, like, I like the color, whatever." It just kept progressively being like, "No, you know what? You're right. This does," like, I don't know, I just didn't understand that, I guess, like, she was feeling, support from her followers and, like, feeling emboldened to be like, you know, "Fuck
I
Alfredo." I don't really know.
I wonder because I don't know, it's like I can see it from both perspectives because like, I've been there in both situations. Like, I've
Right.
damaged the shit out of my hair, and I've gotten services done that I wasn't super happy with,
Right.
and then I've also, been obviously the stylist. I do color corrections a lot, um, and sometimes I feel like you might get something done, and you might feel kind of, like, unsure about it, but you wanna talk yourself into loving it, especially because it's like, "Oh my god,
For
this
sure.
how nice of them that they flew me out and they did this for me," and you wanna be grateful, you wanna love it, you wanna be happy, so you try, like, talking yourself into it and convincing yourself, like, her being like, "Yeah, no, I'm happy with the color, yeah, it looks great, I love it, but then you have that little doubt in the back of your mind already, and then you have all these comments just, like, drowning you with, like, "Oh my god, that looks like shit. That's not even what you wanted.
Ah,
Oh my god, da, da, da." Like, then it
yeah.
creates this cognitive dissonance where you're like, "Damn, you know what? Everybody is right. Like, this isn't what I wanted." And probably, like, after she washed it a couple times too, she probably
Well,
realized, like,
yeah.
"Yeah, this is pretty stripey." Because I mean, what did you think about the color itself?
Well, I thought at first, like, in his videos, I thought it looked nice, definitely better than the gold she went in with. And then I did see one of her videos where she was, like, saying how she was Kelly Clarkson in 2000 whatever, and I could see it, like, it was definitely, I wouldn't call that old money balayage or whatever he was going for.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I mean, after washing it, that always does kind of reveal, like, some of the, um,
It's hard too with the color correction
problems.
because, like, when I mean, her hair was so over processed to
Oh
begin
god,
with,
yeah.
so it's like you put the color on top, it's not going to take evenly, and it's not going to hold evenly,
No.
so you're gonna have to do, like, a couple of sessions before it really, like, holds the color,
Yeah. And that, like, you could
so
tell her hair was, like, porous, to
yeah.
say the least.
Oh, for sure. Did you follow Alfredo Lewis before that? Like, did you know who he was?
I only knew who he was because there was that other girl that fried her hair off, and it was worse than that, like, it was, like, burnt off, like, jagged, like, I remember she went viral for it, she was, like, combing it out in the shower, and it was just, like that much hair,
Mhm.
just freaking coming off, and so they fixed her hair. I think there was another guy involved that did extensions,
Yeah,
like,
sometimes I
kind
think
of the
there's
blonde
3
guy.
of them.
But they put a bunch of extensions in her hair and she had like a really beautiful outcome. But that was the first time I think I saw him, like any of them. And before that, no, I had no idea who he was.
Okay. I had been following him, I think even when we were, like, still in beauty school, maybe, or, like,
Oh, wow.
shortly after, like, I followed him, like, back in the day, and then at some point, I got to the point where, like, I couldn't stand to see their shit anymore, so I had to
Really?
unfollow him. I just wanna talk about these hairdresser performers, like Brad Mondo.
I was gonna say, like, Brad Mondo.
There are the like, and it infuriates me, and I don't wanna, like, sit and talk shit. I'm not sitting on, like, a high horse, like, "Oh my god, I'm so much better than anyone." No.
No.
But, like, there are these hairstylists that, like, blow up on social media because they're so, like, performative,
Mhm.
and especially, like, the over the top, "Oh, we're gonna do some old money balayage." Fucking shoot me. I can't stand
Like,
it.
yeah.
And it's
It's
like,
a
are
lot.
you even I follow so many people that are so talented, so fucking
Mhm.
talented, and they post such amazing educational content, but because they're not, like, juggling and, like, doing all and making these faces like,
Like, but yeah, like, the kinda, like
"She
yeah.
fried all her hair up. Oh my god." People don't they are as
Yeah.
much as, like, the Alfredo Lewises and the Brad Mondos, and a lot, I feel like, of their audience are not professionals, so
You
people
right.
don't know any different, and they just think like, "Oh my god," like Brad Mondo, he sits there and does these videos where he's just sharing information that, like, anyone that is straight out of cosmetology school could tell you,
Yeah.
and then you see him actually do someone's hair, and it looks like shit,
Yeah.
and they do things that I'm like, "That doesn't fucking make any sense to me." And Alfredo looked like the video with Taylor's hair. Why the fuck would you fill someone's hair, then put dark color on it, and then bleach it?
Yeah, that makes no
Fucking
sense.
bleached, and it's already fried and so fragile. Like, if you want dimension, why wouldn't you just like weave some of those pieces out, put some conditioner?
Right. You have your lightened pieces. They're
Why the
already
fuck would
there.
you bleach it again? It doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't make any sense to me. And with like, I just everything, like, I was going back last night and I was trying to watch some of his videos because it had been a while, and I was like, "I wonder if he still is, like, doing the same, shit the same way." He is. I'm like, just even watching the way he does stuff, I'm like, it's giving, like, I just graduated school last year.
No
Like,
way.
and I don't know. I know people are like, "You're just a hater." Maybe I am a hater, but oh,
Maybe I
it just
am.
infuriates me that there are these stylists that people worship and they act like there are these hair gods, these gurus.
Yeah.
Oh my god. And it's like in reality, if you really knew, they're not good.
Right. Like, put him up against someone that's, like, actually doing, like, real color corrections every day of different kinds, not picking what they're doing, you know?
I watched a
Like
video last night, one of Alfredo Lewis's videos, which I couldn't even get through that many because I was literally like getting so annoyed by the over the top, like, ugh. See a lot of hairdressers actually in those comments that were like, "This sucks." So I was like, "Okay, well,
yeah. You're
at
not
least."
alone.
Yeah, at least it's not just me, but he was doing I'm like, "Okay, color corrections, they can be difficult. The results, like I said, if the porosity is uneven, the color is gonna be uneven, like, sometimes that's, beyond your control, whatever, it takes a few sessions." But I saw a video last night, he was working on virgin hair.
Right.
There's no reason
So
why that should be splotchy and uneven. That shit looked terrible. He did
right.
another girl, he did teasy lights on her, and he was literally, like, not blending at all, and then he showed the raw lift before he put any toner on it, and literally, it was so uneven. She parts down the middle, one side was, like, heavily highlighted up to the root, the other side wasn't. It, like, came down lower, and then, of course, he put his his shadow root and all that shit. And then after that, it looked okay in the end. But like when that
Yeah.
fades in a few weeks, she's gonna look fucked up.
Yeah.
And like she has virgin hair. Like, why would you do that? You had a beautiful canvas to work with. You could have made her hair so beautiful and blended
Yeah. And you just fucked it up.
and it looked too like when he pulled out the foils in the back, like it looked so because he also took his blow dryer and was like blow drying the foils while they were in, and it literally came out white. And it looked like there was some breakage in the back. It just, I don't know, it just pisses me off, especially because the like Brad Mondo, for example, like you're not gonna catch him going to take a class to further his
No.
education because like he is the educator. He's regarded like he has his own brand and he's like so famous on social media.
Right, just because he reacted to people's fuck ups.
Right. And people like non hairdressers think of him as like, oh, he's the hair god. Like he knows
Right.
all. He's the best in the game. And meanwhile, like other hairdressers are like, no, he doesn't fucking know
Like,
shit.
don't listen to him. Right.
Like
Yeah, I don't know. And I feel like the focus of people like Ramondo and Alfredo Lewis, like, it's obviously views. It's not the hair itself. It's like, let's get views, and as long as the hair looks okay, like impressive or whatever for the video, then we're cool. Is kind of like how it seems to me.
yeah, 100%. 100%. And I don't know. I mean, like back to the Taylor thing. I do think like her getting all upset about them not doing extensions. It's like you're getting your hair done. And I saw her in one
Yeah.
of her videos. She was like, yeah, I didn't pay them out of pocket, but like they made money. They profited off of like my face and me being in the video. And like she did. Yeah, sure. But you're not, you're not paying money. You're not doing like
No.
a deal with the hair company itself. So it's like you can't
Right.
expect them to give you extensions. You can't expect him to like pay out of pocket for him to provide you with this hair. And I wonder if he did the extensions, if she still would say something about the color. Like if she
Yeah, that's
still
a
would
good
have been unhappy. But it's interesting to me too because she was like, "Well, I know that he made money off of the videos, off the TikTok videos that he made." Well, so she's the one that brought in those views, right? So like how come she doesn't have money to pay for her own extension?
right. That is a good question because she says, "Oh, he's in the creator fund. He's getting like at least this much from it." Like, what does it take to get in the creator fund? Like, is she not in the creator fund?
Yeah,
Or
I am
maybe
curious
not?
how many followers does she have?
But the other thing is now she's getting views off of this. So like
Yeah,
now
well
you're
yeah,
getting potentially like, and I kind of look at her. So she has 764,000 followers, 43.5 million likes. And on her like recent videos about all this stuff, 3.8 million, 2.7 million, 1 million views.
she could reach out to the brand. She could have got sponsored. I don't know. It's interesting though too how she had said that a bunch of people were in her DMs, a bunch of
Right,
companies and hairstylists had reached out to her. Even Olaplex reached out, and she
right.
chose Alfredo because, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. People view, if I had my pick of all these different hairstylists are reaching out to me, he would be the last fucking person that I would have picked. Oh,
Yeah, I
Brad
mean, I'm
Brad
sure
Mondo would have been last. He would have been
dead
second
last.
because at least Alfredo Lewis like
Like,
actually works, like actually does hair.
right. Doesn't
Um,
just like react.
right. You know, she picked him because she thought that that was gonna be her best bet. I wonder if she picked him because he has the most followers out of everyone that reached out, and she thought it would be mutually beneficial.
Yeah, I do kind of wonder what led to that decision. Maybe she said it in the video and I missed it,
In
but
her video, though, she was making it sound, because 'cause I'm surprised to hear that she has less followers than him. Because in her video, she was making it sound like she has more than him, and he was just using her for her following and her, like, social media clout and whatever.
yeah, I mean, I'm sure she like her face is always used as clickbait, she was saying in the video, where it's like
Yeah.
if you if you would just like see that clip, you'd probably be like, "What? Kylie Jenner?" and you're watching it, you know?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, definitely.
like I could
But
see why how he would think like, "Oh my gosh, like here's an opportunity," and she would also think, "Oh, here's an opportunity," and then they just like both I quite understand how it happened. He was saying like, "Oh, if she weren't happy, I would've touched her back up. I would've fixed it. I would've flown her out myself, and, like, if I knew she were unhappy," but she wasn't saying that. She wasn't happy.
well, and I wonder how true that is. Like, would he actually, like, it's easy to say that now in
Now
hindsight, but, like,
yeah.
would he actually have done that? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Who knows? I
Yeah,
mean,
it's
I can
easy.
see both sides, and I get how some people were saying, like, "Oh, she's coming off as really ungrateful because, like, this was all free," and you know what? At the end of the day, her hair was so damaged to start with. It's it's in much better condition now. So at
Right.
least, like, she got a free trip out of it. She excuse me.
Excuse me. Oh,
Um,
man.
she it's better now. She got all these K18 treatments and everything. It looked, like, much healthier. So,
Yeah,
at least they didn't, like, damage it further, you know? So she can just
right,
leave
or,
it
like
be, let it grow. It could have been way worse, obviously.
the one thing I wonder about is, like, so she wanted extensions really bad, didn't really have money to get them. Whatever, I get it. But, like, you have to keep up on that maintenance. Like, the expense really a lot of it is just the initial install and, like, the hair, for sure. But when I had extensions, you could only use that hair a certain amount of times, and the moving up of your extensions wasn't, like, 50 bucks.
That's true.
So, like, what was
And right,
the
so
thought process there?
she's better off just going to someone that's local to her, so that way she can do her maintenance appointments and not have to fly out to LA every 6 weeks or whatever to get her
Like, was
extensions
that
fixed up.
was not gonna happen? Like, I just couldn't understand that part, like, "Great, you have your extensions. Now what do you do in 4 weeks?"
Yeah, great point. But that goes back to what you were saying about, like, they just do it for the video,
They
and
don't care, yeah.
that's all they
Why?
care about. Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Like, I have my content, everything's content, 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 great, but, like, um, what about when this stuff happens then? When
Right,
your
and
content doesn't go as planned, and I mean, I
yeah.
guess it's all content. Is it like press? Like, all press is good press?
I mean, I
All
think so
views are good
because
views?
all it did was it brought more attention to, I mean, both of them really.
A lot more. Well, maybe that was the plan. They're like, "Let's have this drama."
I'm sure it sucks to, like, constantly get negative comments and messages and stuff, but, like, I think when you're putting yourself in that position where that's what you wanna do, make content, get a shit ton of followers, get all this attention, do this extreme over the top stuff to get people's attention, it's like that's just
Right.
part of it, so
Yeah.
I did feel a little bit bad just because I know that feeling, like, when you do someone's hair and you thought that they were so happy with it and you feel like you did the best job you could, and then later on, they're like, "Actually, I changed my mind. I don't like it. You suck." Da, da, da. It's like, Wait, what?"
Like,
It's just
but I thought
so left out of left field, and you're like, "Wait, what?" But
yeah.
at the same time, like, if it was, like, anybody else, I'd be like, "Oh, I really," like, I side with the stylist,
Oh,
I feel bad, but, like, with him, I'm almost like, "You know what? Good," because you get people blow so much smoke up your ass, and, like,
right.
you people act like you're so amazing, and meanwhile, you you ain't all that.
And that was, like, kind of like, when I was watching the recap, I was like, "God, I don't know, like, I'm not on anybody's side because you have one person doing this work for free, and, helping this girl out. He fixed her hair up, like, adequately, I guess we could say. And then this girl is his content and she gets the service. So I don't know. I feel
And
like it's kind of
also,
like a wash.
she chose him, though, like, if you look at
Yeah,
his other videos, it's not like any of it is a surprise, like, you can see in the videos that his shit is stripey and
really. I'm gonna have to watch.
not like, her results, I think if I had saw a video of her hair, I could have guessed who did it just by looking at it. So it's like, that's who you chose. So I don't feel bad for her. And like I said, her hair starting out with was so fried. It's healthy now. It looks a lot better than it
Yeah.
was.
Yeah, see, that's the part that I'm like, at least her hair's still there. Because that one girl that he did before, her hair was like beyond. Like, I would have seen no other way than to just shave it off. It was that bad. But they salvaged what they could.
But even that stuff too, do they do you know, do they post like updates?
I don't know, they might have for that girl because her case was extreme.
Because I was gonna say, like, it's very easy to do a treatment on someone's hair and, like, throw some extensions in it and style it and put
And
a lot of
call it,
oil and be like, "Look, it
yeah.
looks so much better." But it's like, well, but what's their hair gonna look like in, like, a few weeks from now? Like,
I
did
forget her
you
name.
actually save it or did you just make it look nice for the video for
Exactly,
a
for the
temporary
camera.
amount of time?
Yeah. I can't remember her name. I'll try to find her and see if they followed up or like if she posted anything. Now would be a good time for her to post something if she wanted to get some views.
That's a great
'Cause,
point.
I should be her social media manager or something, like, but, yeah, I don't know, I thought the whole thing was a little bit silly, just, like, content creators drama at the end of the day. I
Yeah.
don't know.
I
They
just thought it
couldn't
would
pick
be
a side.
something interesting to talk about and a good opportunity for me to finally vent about my hatred of
Of
Brad
those
Mondo.
kinds of, yeah. Yeah, it's not all that impressive.
But then there's people like
Um
Guy Tang,
oh,
talented as fuck.
he
And
is
he can
really
he
talented.
can be a little over the top too, but like he doesn't do stuff just for like the drama of it. Like he's actually
No.
really talented. And that's the thing, like I don't want it to come off like I'm just being like a hater and it's like, oh, well, just because 'cause they're successful or have a lot of followers or, whatever. Like, no, it's not about that. It's like it's recognizing that there are some people who actually, like, are deserve it. And then
Yeah,
there's some
yeah,
people that it's,
no,
like,
exactly.
frustrating. It's like, "Really?"
Wait. Um, this kind of I'm gonna segue into Love Is Blind. 'Cause
Okay.
there was this girl who, like, on TikTok either, like, stitched Chelsea or whatever, her video, and she was like, "I'm gonna tell you what you need to do with your hair." And so she
Mhm.
was like, "Come to me, I'll do it for free, like, this is what you need to do." She was telling her, like, "Do a center part," because me and Chelsea might have similar issues, like, I have all this forehead back here. If I had
I
a
literally
side
that is what I
part,
said the first time I saw her. I was like, homegirl
you
needs a
gotta
middle part. She's got a lot of forehead."
it's that easy, and now you have less. And so she was, like, trying to get her to be like, "Oh, yeah, like, cut your hair."
'Cause it ages her, it, like, looks like a
Oh
receding
my god.
hairline.
Well, did you see well, she also has, like, a long face, so she needs a little, like, something, like,
Yeah.
you can't just be like anyway,
Yes.
um, did you see her reunion look?
No, I can't wait to watch the reunion. Well, by the time this is, out.
By the time this is posted, the reunion's out. We should do,
Yeah.
like, a watch party for it because
Mhm.
I literally cannot wait.
Me too.
I she so when you do watch it and you see her, just remember that I said she looks like the mother of the frickin' bride or, like, groom. She
I think
does
I might
not look
have. I think I did see, actually. She like, really heavy makeup.
and, like, feathers and black and gold. I
Yeah.
was like, "You look like either an evil stepsister or the mother of the bride, like, what is this look?" And, like, the way the hair was, I was like, "Are we 45 or are we, like, what is this giving?" This isn't giving what you think it is, I don't think.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that just reminded me because everybody's in her, like, on her social media being like, "Oh my god, Chelsea, you need to do this with your hair. Please, please get bangs. Do this with your hair." And I'll be interested to see if she actually does it. So maybe for next week we'll do a little Q&A.
Yes,
We'll
we have to post on
post a
Instagram.
story, and I'll take your questions if you have
Yes.
any. I'm sure there's at least one that's everyone's wondering, but
Yeah, so make sure you're following us on Instagram, or I'll post it on our YouTube channel too. So if you don't have Instagram and you wanna submit questions for our Q&A,
oh
it'll
yeah.
be on our community tab. Or you can just leave them in the
Okay, cool.
comments too of this video,
Yeah, we'll find
whatever
them.
is easier. Yes, we will look and let us know your thoughts on the whole situation with, the whole hair thing that we talked about.
Yeah, if you guys are in on it or like up to
Yes.
speed.
How do you feel? I'll put a link in the show notes or the description, whatever, um, of like a video recap that we both watch, and it has like all the pictures and the videos of everything we
Oh,
talked about,
perfect. Yeah.
in case you don't have TikTok and you're not like caught up and you don't know what we're talking about. That way you can see everything. But that's gonna be it for this week's episode.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks for listening. And we'll TTYL.
Yes.
I'm like, what
Bye
was I saying?
guys.